Okay, let's see. We need to explain something here. Let me go ahead and change this. Just leave it on pause for a minute. You see this tower I've got right here? It's identified as part of the Great Hall. Now, you can move it around. Left click and then... Is it because I've got it on pause? They're not going to let me move it? Well, darn. Well, anyway, I had it attached right here, but I skipped a step. And the step that I skipped was over here. I just went ahead and I clicked here and I placed it on the side of the building. But it did not identify it as a tax office because I hadn't clicked here and picked this option. So I went ahead and did it again with this already still attached, and I was able to take this one. Oh, they're going to let me move that. And I put it on the very same spot. Uh-oh. They're not going to let me do that either. Well, if that don't beat all. I'll just cancel. I wonder why they're not letting me move anything. Is it because I've skipped a step? Yeah, it's because I skipped that step. So let's put this all back like it was. Oh, wait a minute. I got to pay for that first. It's going to cost me a coin to do this demonstration. Now we have to remember to get here if we want to move something. And notice that they'll let me put the two structures in the same spot. And we got to pay for the change. Now let's go ahead and speed this up to 3 times so I can repeat the part that's missing. And I'll put it on pause for a second. Okay, we are recording again. And I need to click so we can get movement done. There we go. For some reason it cuts me off and won't let me move the camera until I click on the map somewhere. All right, notice we've got 2 roof lines. Now one roof line belongs to the manor. So if we click up here, because it's the same color, it says this is all Great Hall. And notice it's also got the tower highlighted. So if I go here and I say, all right, I want to move this tower. Now, which tower am I going to be moving? Okay, I've got the one that's part of the Great Hall. Since I skipped over this step here and didn't have a tax office highlighted. So what we have left, of course, is a tax office. So we'll go ahead and we'll move it. Now notice that it provides protection, but I can't not move it very far away. See where it says too far? Now I could go ahead and keep the building, but I'm thinking I don't want to do that right now, especially not this way since it's got a limited range. See, I got the same problem if I try to go too far away over here. But watch what happens when I try to remove it. First I have to just say apply change, or I have to use this option to undo, or I can use this one to clear changes. But watch what happens. We got to verify we want to clear the changes. It puts it right back. So we've basically accomplished nothing. Now sometimes when you say clear changes, it'll eliminate everything. And that's what we're going to end up doing. But first of all, let's make sure we got the tax office, and we do. And then we have to hit the hammer. If you forget this, it's not going to work quite right because we want to move it. And we'll just click here on the center dot. And now, well, we just got the door. That's not what we wanted. We got the wrong dot. All right, let's try this again. We're back to the Great Hall. No, I don't want the Great Hall. I want the tax office. All right, let's see. Is that going to work for me? Or is it just going to move only the door again? All right, we got the door and everything. See, there's no limit on how far away I can move it because it's not identified as being part of the Great Hall. And it's highlighted over here because we did not miss this step where we decided what we wanted. See there, you have to say what you wanted. Now, the tower that's extra, if it was a free build, we would have the same option. We can move it wherever we want to, but it'll have to have a door. So where do we want to leave this tax office? Well, it would make sense to leave it as close to the center area as possible. And where we had it before was pretty close to the church. But I'm going to move it and put it right about there. Do the bird's eye with the R key. Rotate it so that the door entrance, as you can see with that little triangle right there, is right here. So they'll develop a little path, the tax collector will, going in and out of here. But that's a good spot. So now we got to pay. Boom, and it becomes permanent. But of course, they've got to reinvest some materials. It's going to cost 2 stone, 5 planks, it looks like. Yeah, planks. And 2 tools in order to finish that job. And that'll be the home of the tax collector. We've already started a church, but I haven't put in a priest. Now, she's technically a nun, but they call her the priest, village priest. And you can only have one in there, so. Now, that has a positive influence, but not necessarily because of the building, but because of the tower. Let's see, can I show that somehow? Usually I'd just double click on here. No, they're not going to let me do that. I'd have to move it. Yeah. Now, I do have a choke point technically right down here. Let's show that. By the footprint of this house and the footprint of this church, because of the this part right here, are actually touching. But see, they're getting past there okay, no problem. It's not enough of a blockage, and it's adding a little bit of splendor, or should I call it something else, making the house more desirable. And of course, we would do some more of that with adding beautification decorations. All right, now let's go back up here and fix this. And unfortunately, I don't think they'll let me take the tower down by itself. Let's see. Well, there's the tower. I don't see an option to remove it. See, manor, hall, minor, large manor. So that would not be the tower. Ah, here we go. Here's the tower. So I'll click on it, and we'll take a risk that they'll destroy only the tower and not the whole shebang, or we'll have to rebuild it. Oh, it's going to destroy all of the Great Hall parts. So I think it's going to include the Great Hall itself. Yeah, it's not letting me isolate. Let's try that again. Tower. This doesn't really do anything. Because see, it's got everything highlighted. I can't seem to... Oh, wait a minute. There's another option. Here. No, they're not listing that tower separately, are they? Darn, I might not have a choice. So let's get out of this and start over. Look at the parts. Now they do show them separate here. Let's click on this. And darn, we gotta start over again. It didn't do what I wanted it to. That's one thing that's kind of frustrating about this game. It says tower. We've got it selected. Wait a minute, does it offer a no, the little shovel's not there. Well, the only way I'm going to be able to fix that is I'm going to have to take a chance here and do the whole thing. Because it's going to take away everything. Yep, just like I thought. Now, did they just make this tower over here? Manor House, tax office. They're still associating it with that manor house. All right, let's put this on pause. And let's rebuild. So we'd have to go here first. Then we'd have to go here and put that back in. And we have to click here first. Now, it doesn't light up. It just says, oh, what do you want to do? But we need the Great Hall first. And then we have to, we'll go ahead and just pick the same one we had before, since it makes the most sense. And let's get our bird's eye, look at our footprints. Maybe a little closer to the street here. I don't see any problems with the footprints, those blue lines that go around the buildings. All right, now let's go back down. And we still need these 2 items, just like before. And I'll do the big one. Come on, Dot. There we go. And then we have to do the arrow, which would be here. Do a bird's eye view. Zoom in a little bit with the mouse wheel. We don't want them standing in the center of the street. We want them back up off a little bit because they should show up right where you see the point of this arrow. So right in this area. All right, we've got green check marks, so we've got all the basic requirements, and we'll say build. Kind of hate to do that since I'm going to burn up more tools and supplies and stuff, but I don't see a way around it. It doesn't seem like I can isolate that tower that I put in there by mistake. Got to got off pause so things will start happening. Now, while we're waiting for that to happen, where is that messenger? Oh, there's the open book. That's what we were looking for. All right, what have we got here going on now? Improving the lumber camp. We need more wood. Really? Well, we'll go ahead and do it, just like it says. So we'll click here and it'll add to what we've got over here on the left-hand side. Oh yeah, I guess they do. They don't have the storage area full, but of course that might be because we're doing all this building and rebuilding. Yeah, because they've even got all the wood logs out of here too. So what they're suggesting does make sense. We should make the wood camp a little bit bigger. And that would suggest to me they've got enough storage to get by, they just don't have enough workers. And they're all taking a break. Why are they all taking a break? That would suggest they don't have any more trees to cut down? Well, let's see here. They've cut down all, for some reason they won't cut down that tree. And they've got all the trees over here too. Well, I'll be darned, they sure did. Look at that. They've got all these trees cut down. So we're out of wood, and the only way we can give them more wood to cut down is we have to either buy another territory at 100 plus rent tax every month, or we have to put somebody in here, like so, and say, all right, I want you to replant trees. Remember, I warned you about this before, so this should not be surprising that it actually happened. And let's see, let's go to the square. We'll have to click here first. Now, see, it's got a different color of blue, and I'm going to have them cut down trees that are replanted right up here in this area. I'm going to do the left click and drag thing. And I'm also going to activate this area over here. And I think I should go ahead and enlarge this a little bit more. But we won't go over top of that camp there, we'll go around it. So we would go like so. Now the other thing I can do is I go back to the circle and say, well, let's make it a little bit smaller first. Don't plant in this area, so that'd be a right click. That way we can still see the Stonecutters camp, we can still see the stone. But it's okay to plant everywhere else. All right, so let's get out of this. And then, well, we might as well go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and reduce it. I'm not planning on putting out any more authorization. Boom, like that. Well, we could have extended over in this area too, couldn't we? But that should be plenty for now. So now we have to make sure that we have authorization. And I'm going to go back to the square instead of the circle, because I want to keep everything squared up. So I'll do the mash down the control, or I should say the mouse wheel, so that we can stay right on the edge. And then we'll line it up a little better. And I guess we need to line it up with this line. Then we could back up. Well, I'll just keep going over. I'll get that other part here in a second. And then we'll need to go back to the circle. And right click, because we don't want them doing that. Then we'll go back to the square. And, well, it's a little bit too big, so let's make it about that big. And then right click again. There we go. Kind of match up a little bit like a keyhole. Now I might as well go back to the circle and make it bigger. I hope you saw the first videos where I explained how you do this. Part 1, Part 2. Alright, I think we got it. Oh, did the game remove my option to see the border? Yeah, it sure did, didn't it? Well, let's get out of this. Let's go back up in here and activate this again. Oh, it was activated. I just didn't notice it. Well, it's more noticeable now. All right, so she'll go in, or no, that's a he. We got a he in here, don't we? Yeah, we got a he in here. He's going to go out there in all this blue area that you see. He's going to replant trees. And after a short while, they'll be tall enough. I think it takes, does it take a full week or is it less than a week? And then the woodcutters will go back in there and start cutting them down. And they'll bring our number for wood from 0 up to however much this will provide, assuming that we're not using it as fast as he provides it. Now, like I said, we could extend this, go all the way to the borderline. In fact, I'm not really planning on putting anything out here right now, so let's go ahead and do that. So paint reforestation area, and I'll use the square, I think, this time. And we'll make sure we're lined up pretty good. Looks good. Then we'll just do the left click and drag until we run out of property that we own. Okay, then we got to flip back over to here. Well, I'll just get rid of this for now. And do the same thing with this option. Wood cutting is authorized. And we'll just, I'm going to use the camera control keys. So left click and then I'll just drag it like that. And then we'll just do the old normal drag. So now they'll replant, or he will, oh, they're already cutting. Wow, was it only like 2 days or 3 days past? And now they're starting to cut already? Well, anyway, we've got the area identified, so that'll give him plenty of wood. So if you forgot to build this like I suggested, since the game didn't tell you to, then you're going to be hurting for certain, because you cannot buy wood. Right now, you do not have that option. Because if we go up here and we look, we've got to look here. The only places we can do business with right now is what? Northbury, and they do not sell wood. They're supposed to sell cloth, but I haven't had any luck with that. And the other ones are still not open. You got to buy them. All right, so we got this going again. We've got a tax office, but it's a separate building. So I think we've met all the requirements, haven't we? Except for this one right here. They raised it from 10 to 50 just as soon as we put that building in there. They want us to pass a levy. What's our percentage? Okay, our percentage is high enough. So now we can come back over here and select mandate and do the discuss a levy. And say it's got to be done. It's done. Now we need to increase the taxation. Now, I've had problems with that before. Advice followed. So we got rid of something over here on the left-hand side. Let's see if we can make this work. Now, we need to be over here where it's got taxation. This little tab right here. Now, what I had to do was I had to decrease this, get out of it, and then go back into it after I counted to about 5 or 10, and then increase it. That gives us 20 thing, and it worked again. So we got advice followed, and now we're down to building a castle and improving the lumber. And what they want, improve your lumber camp with at least one improvement. Assign a new woodcutter. So it has to be something to do with increasing how many woodcutters we have available. Otherwise, we won't be able to solve both of those. So we got to click here. We got to click on the hammer. And we've got to select something that'll give us more woodcutters. See, that one will give us 1 added to the total number. This will give us 1. This will give us 1. No, a Splendor. This will give us 2. So I guess that helps them stay drunk on the job. This one will give us 2. They can mix 2. And munching. I usually do munching. So let's do munching again. And I'm going to put it... I can't put it very far away from the lumber camp. And I got to pay attention to the triangles. You got 1, 2, 3 of them for this. So I need to move it. Well, I've got 2 of them. The other one goes with the lumber camp. I think I better back it off just a little bit more. There we go. Looks like we've got our proper clearance. In fact, we might have a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. And we'll apply the changes. Now, once that's built, that should satisfy, but I'll have to assign a worker. I've got 1 person standing by for employment, so that should fix me up. And we're already on ×3. That's as fast as it'll go, so we're just waiting on the builders to come over there and get her done. Looks like she's making good progress. And then we could click anywhere once it is, and it'll have a new well, actually it'll have 2 new slots for us. All right, is she done? Yep, she's done. We've got the 2 new slots. So we just need to add 1, and that should make this go away. Bingo! We got a vice followed. Now that should really make a difference on how much wood we have. Oh, look at there. It's making quite a difference. Well, we do have it on speed 3. Let's knock it down 1 to speed 2. That will look a little more normal, even though they're still kind of rushing around. Okay. Now they're talking about building a castle. Now, I've got enough gold saved up through trading and taxation. So let's go in here and let's pay for these. Now, that one's already paid for. The only one we haven't paid for was this one. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pay for this one now. I've got the extra gold, even though I'm not going to use it. And I'm going to pay for this one because it'll give me more choices on beautification for the housing area. And I might as well go ahead and get this one done too, since I've got plenty of gold. Now, in the near future, I want to do the fishing, but I'm going to have to expand my territory to do it. And this is only going to cost me 25. And, well, maybe I'll need one of these days, but I like to just go ahead and finish everything. Now, we can't do anything more with these down here until we have, well, this is high enough because we need 10 on the prosperity all the way across, so no problem there. But each of these buildings, well, let me get rid of this. These are all right clicks with the mouse. Okay, but we have to have this labor splendor in order to get this open. We have to have 25 in Kingdom Splinter. Right now, we don't even have the castle keep built yet, so we couldn't surround it with decorations that provide splendor yet. We don't have the monastery started yet, so we can't surround it. But what we see here is for both of these. Both the rustic churches, we've got one of those already, and we have not started this. So from here on out, we'll be spending gold in order to have the splendor that we need around these structures once we have them up. All right, now the old, oh, wait a minute. They want us to look at stuff, so we better look at this. Food diversity. Oh, they want me to provide more kinds of food, and the kinds of food they want me to provide is what they call refined food. Now, we've only got one type of rustic food, which is the berries, and fishing will help with that once we get that done. So we'll kind of have to ignore that for now. As you can see, the mandate, -18. It started out as a -20, just like it is for the refined food. But they're starting to get over a little bit. A little time has passed. The 5% for the taxes, the -5%, as long as we're charging taxes, which we need to do, so that we can get more coins a little faster, and once a month they pay up, we're never going to remove that. In fact, we might make it worse for a while, depending on how high our happiness is. But as it stands right now, the most we can hope for in happiness is 55%, until they get over something like the levy mandate. Okay, so I'm going to say forget it, because I'm not going to mess with the refined food thing for a long, long time. There's too many disadvantages to doing it now. All right, what we got here? Village decorations. Okay, yeah, we're going to do that one. And it's telling you which decorations you need to put down to acquire Tier 2 decorative in the progression menu. So that's the one we're going to focus on now. Oh, there's another one. Building a monastery. Yeah, we want monks and nuns, so I'm going to select this first one. And that'll add to our list over there. All right, any more books of advice? No, I don't see any more. I don't see anybody visiting, trying to offer a deal of some sort. Okay, so we're good to go. So what do we want to do first? Not the castle, not the monastery. Yeah, we'll focus on this one right here. So what we have to do, I don't have anybody waiting to be employed. So yeah, we'll take you. And let's see. We have a full house. Yep. Oh, that one's already filled. Oh, we can use you right there on the berries. Dingo. That way, that'll keep that number a little bit higher. So 2 of them wasn't really enough. A third one. Now, how many of those berry collection points we have? We got this one. I think that might be the only one we have. Let's rotate here with the Q like in quick, quiet. What else starts with Q? And we do have some berries over here in the housing area. So let's put in another one. That way we'll have more. We need the drumstick ability to put more employees on the task. As we grow our population, we're going to need more berries to feed them. And I'll back it up a little bit so we're not on the path but close to it. And I'll come over here to where there's a bush that we can't do anything with. That looks like a good spot for it, really. And the builders will get out of here and get busy. And then we'll have another employment spot. But we'll have to wait for some more immigrants to come in. All right, let's get back to this here. Adding decorations. All right. We would have to start here because these decorations are generic to the village, mostly the housing area. So here and here, common decoration. And notice they've got the little daisy in the corner. They don't have a star, so they're just providing beautification. Now, a lot of new players don't realize there's 2 kinds of decorations, even though the menus that we're looking at right now looks the same. So let me try to explain that. Now that we've got the manor rebuilt, if you go here and we go into decorations, you see, it's all the same stuff. Well, maybe not those. Yeah, those aren't being shown in the other one. But it's basically the same stuff. Now, they will add more decorations as we go up in the tiers and we pay for the higher tier decorations. They'll add some to this. But notice that these have a little star in the corner. They don't have a daisy. And that's because what they're providing is what you see up here. In this particular case, we're talking labor because of the building type. And we'll gain some of these coins in different ways. Okay, I just want to make sure I pointed that out to you. We're not looking for splendor right now. We're looking for generic right here, already selected. Now, a lot of these decorations, you could spam them. You know what spamming means. Yeah, I want you guys to pick berries. Now, the first thing they tell us we need to put down is a rose bush. Now, where can we put that rose bush? I would recommend that you go to where there's a house, because you're going to want this for beautification anyway. You see the influence? The influence, unless I get too close and I'm blocking something. So I'll put it right here in the corner. Makes that house more desirable. We'll pay a 5 coin. That takes care of that one. Now we've got to do a terracotta bench. So let's get back in here, find us a terracotta bench. And it should be that one right there. Yep, there it is. Now this is going to cost us 5. And I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put it out here. So if they want to take a break sitting on a bench, they can. Now let's zoom in. Notice that there's a red triangle. Normally that means that a blocked access. But actually this time it means that's how you approach the bench. To sit on it, that's the direction. So you'll be facing out this way. Pay our 5. And they're satisfied with the placement. It's in the village. Now you'll probably notice that they like that bench. Anytime you put down a bench, especially if it's for decoration, or even you put one down that offers splendor for a specific building, they like those benches. That's about all I can say about that. All right, so let's go back in here. And now we need a young oak planter. And I think, yep, that's it right there, young yoke planter. Now, I may end up moving all this later, but look at this. I could actually put it right on top of the bench, and they'll still sit there, even though there's a tree trunk in the way. Okay, I'll back it up a little bit, just to zoom in, look at the footprints and try to get things squared up here. And we'll rotate it a little bit. How's that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Well, I'll move it towards the center, and we'll pay the 20 gold this time. So now they got a little shade. All right, now let's see. Own a road sign. Okay, same deal as before. This time we have to find the road sign. And there it is right there. Now, this is part of your village activity. Let's see. Where would be a good place to put this? Well, we could put it in the housing area or even back here. That looks like a logical place for it right there. And we'll rotate it. Yeah, this one points whatever's off this way and whatever's off that way. It'd probably say market that way and housing that way, I guess. I don't know. 5 gold coins. Boom. And the last one is rope fence. So where's the rope fence? There it is. I've played this game and for some reason they were hiding this. This was blank. I couldn't see anything. This time it's looking normal. All right, where would be a good place to put a rope fence? Because it'll block their path. Make the newcomers change their path. They'd just go around it. It wouldn't make much difference at all. Now, see, it's green, but if we get too close, once again. So where is a spot? We don't want them to... Oh, they're cutting right through that guy's yard, aren't they? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it right here. And see if by chance I could force them to go around this guy's property rather than through it all the time. So let's move it up. And that gap looks perfect. And we'll pay the 5 coin. Oh, look what they did. Well, we finished off that one. They took away the 2 pieces of fence I had there. Oh, I hate it when the game does that kind of thing. But what can I say? So now they're just going to go around the rope fence. Right past here, right in through here. So this will eventually fade, but we're still going cutting through the guy's fence. Or I should say cutting through his yard. Well, anyway, what can you do? Well, what I could do if I was stubborn enough is I could go here and then I could select one of these 3. I don't know if the hedge will actually stop it. Now there's different kinds, but you see nothing changes. Later on there'll be reasons to select different options. This is just everything, like it says all, and this is decorative walls. I wonder if I should give him a hedgerow. It's not going to provide any sort of advantage. No splendor, there's no little daisy or anything, so there's not going to be any beautification. Well, I don't know. We'll worry about that later. Right now it just doesn't seem all that important. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start the castle build. Now, what you normally want to do, these games are usually designed to be a round territory with the castle, the monastery, pretty much at the top of the hill. And this is the other structure that you normally put at the top of the hill, your Lord Mayor's Manor. So they'll be pretty close to each other, but they don't have to be. Right now, we don't have enough territory to do much more. So what I'm going to do is I've got a little space right there. I'm going to go ahead and come over here to where it's got administration, and I'm going to choose this. I got to start with this one right here. See, there's no choices. They won't let you select anything else. So this is what we need. And there's only one kind of keep offered. In fact, every time they give you a new choice, like one made out of brick or, no, excuse me, stone, you're going to have to get rid of this one after it's constructed. So it's going to kind of mess up your plans quite a bit because you don't get rid of this until the other one's finished normally. But notice how much purple it offers. Lots and lots of purple. Okay, so I'll just put it to save space since it's a positive influence on the housing. Right about, well, let's see, I could connect the dormitory on the back side, but I want to put it on this one side or the other, I think. So I better move it over to about here somewhere. Now, we look up here, there's some more requirements. So we need a dummy. There's the dummy. And where we put this dummy is restricted. We can't put it too far away. See what happens? It's too far away. And I don't want to put it here because I'll probably put the dormitory there. Do I want it in the front? Let the company soldiers entertain the population as they walk by? Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Now, of course, there's your entrance. That's where they're going to stand to punch out the dummy, but it looks like they never actually make contact. They get close, they just don't actually stab it. Okay. No, we want to say no because we don't have the door in yet. Now, I'm going to put the door, the entrance to the castle keep on the side, I think. And there's the door options. It's quite a few. Now, we could go low to the ground, we could go slightly above the ground, left or right, and we can go quite a ways off the ground. Again, quite a ways off the ground. Slightly lifted, but 2 ways to get in or out. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. And we'll put it right dab in the center. Boom. Now we've got all the check marks built. Now I'm going to speed it up so it happens a little quicker, because they're going to have to build a dummy that's out front for entertainment purposes of the general population. I don't really want to move my warehouse to make space, but it might become necessary. And then I'll put this on pause for a bit. Okay, they got the construction done. They got the little stairway. And let's see, they got the dummy out front. So we're good to go. Now notice it says you might want to hire some people. Your first soldiers. Oh, we might need to move that arrow too, so that they wait out here in the open. All right, let's put it on pause and see what the king wants. I am at your service, my liege. And he's going to give us some cheap, well, it shows swords, but it's actually spears. The cheap iron spears. Otherwise, we've got nothing to give our troops when we have them. See right there in that little pop-up window, it shows gain 50 spears. Thank you, my liege. Weapons received. Now, where they're at right now is anyone's guess, because I don't have an armory put yet. Built and near the fort. That's the most logical place to put it. But let's change where the people wait for attention. Normally you can only have one of these. So let's grab this one that we've already got by left-clicking on it. And let's drag it over to... Let's see. Let's move it inward a little bit, like so. See, that should work. I think we're more likely to notice that they're there. Now, if we click on this, and we've got to come over here and said add a company, and click on that. Boom. Now we can have 5 of these guys. But right now we only have 3 villagers waiting for employment. Now the other thing we should probably do is click here, find their dummies again. Well, these are the new structures we can possibly have. And there's quite a few of them, so we'll scan over. Here's some more. Run it over until those little exclamation points in the white circles disappear. Okay, but we want another dummy, because we're going to be trying to train 5 guys. And only having the one dummy to train 5 guys is not really a good idea. So let's put him in, but let's put him in like this. Try to match him up here. I better zoom in a little bit. Put him back to back, basically. He's not exactly squared up, is he? Yeah, that looks better. And we can actually overlap them a little bit. But that's going to put them out in the street. But I don't think that's going to be an issue. So 2 guys can be here, and then 2 guys can be here. Now, it's going to be attached to this building, and that's why you see the little ongoing construction hammer there. In the meantime, let's keep an eye out for some new immigrants. I don't see anybody coming. So I might as well put the recording on pause again until somebody shows up. Oh dear. I just noticed a serious problem here. We're running out of berries. So we're not keeping people fed. Let's see. Didn't I put in another? Yeah, I might have to, whoops, let's grab these two people right quick. Instead of putting out soldiers, I may have to focus on over here. Yeah, see, I didn't put anybody in there to help out, so let's get this satisfied first so that we can build our berry surplus up. That just took, so I guess we'll have to go back to pause until we get some more volunteers looking for employment. Yeah, it might be a little while before that happens, so I'll just put it back on pause. Something else I should remind you of, we've got the other one, the original gathering hut, right out here in the center of town. Oh, here comes a trader. What's he gonna grab? He's grabbing some polished stone, some planks. Oh, that bumped our income. But let's go ahead, click on this, click on the hammer. Now click on the center of the hut. And where can we move it to? Where there's berries? I don't see any out there, so I guess that's it. We'd have to move it more this way. And I'm going to put it, even though it's going to make it a long walk for the transporter to get out here and collect these, and then I'm going to point it in that direction. Go ahead and pay. Now we've got another one, and we've put 3 people out there, so our berry collection will keep coming in because this production site is waiting on a builder. Well, they don't have to wait very long. And they're automatically reassigned, so we're good to go. Oh, that's the lady in the blue. She went all the way out there to collect berries. Oh, no wonder she ran out. She didn't have anything to offer. And we don't have a granary yet. Still, the game has not recommended that we install a granary. Boy, they really need to fix that. All right, how many people do we have now? We've got 4, so we need 1 more before we try to assign unemployed people to our first unit of army. And then they're calling them guardsmen. There's the name of their company, Castle Company number 1. If we click here, we'll see all the parts. Right now, the only part, they recognize this one. They don't even recognize the 2 dummies out here for training. And we were required to have at least 1 in order for this job to ever get finished. So let's see, what should we focus on now? Does this show us having any cloth? Usually it's up, there it is. Okay, we still have 10 cloth. We better not wait any longer though. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we don't interfere with our future needs. We got to get over to the sheep farm. Yep, there it is, right there. So just remember where it's at. Goods production. Now, let's see, I got to be careful where I put this because I plan on expanding both the warehouse and this, and I'm going to need to put a granary in before too much longer. So I want to put the sheep farm. See, the front door is right there. Well, yeah, let's line it up to this road right here. We're not in the road, so that should work for me. Pay the 25, and then when that's built, we'll be back in action. Oh, wait a minute, we got some folks here. And now I've got 5, so now we can get serious about making our company. So we'll click here, and we'll use the plus sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we've got some happy people. Company drafted. Drafted is a very unpopular word to use in America, but anyway, maybe it's not so bad in European countries. And let's see, we've got 4 of them out there punching. You know why they're punching? They don't have any weapons, and they will never have any weapons until we get the armory made and assign a transporter to it. So let's get down here and get that done. Now we have to go here. We don't want to mess up. We got to go here. All right, and here's our armory. So it shows armory, and it gives us a unique looking building. So let's see, where do we want to put the armory? No, it's too much of a squeeze. I want to put a barracks up, so I better put it out over here somewhere and rotate it so we've got our entrance and exits in the clear. And look at our clearance. Well, we need a little bit more clearance, I think. And then we can also move it just a little bit more to make that as parallel as possible. All right, good. Because right now I have no idea where those spears are. And until we have the armory up, they will not be given spears. So now that we have one person left over, let's assign them to our sheep farm. I don't know why they don't call it ranch, but I guess it really does matter. Now we need to designate a pasture. And, ooh, that's a pretty big pasture. Yeah, I think that's going to be too big to start with. Remember, we're not making this to provide clothing to the villagers. We're doing this just to get cloth. So that's it. Even though it says it's too small, I'm ignoring that. I'm only assigning one person. Now, this is an automated process. See the sheep? The sheep are just kind of like coming away from the water trough and the haystack, and they're just starting to multiply. Now, eventually, but it might be not until we make this pasture. Oh, one came from this side this time. A lot bigger. We'll get a black sheep. We'll only get one. I've never seen more than one. Well, we're square enough. I'm not going to worry about it. Now, we'll wait a while, but in the meantime, we need to have a place for him to put the wool that he's going to be collecting off those sheep. So we'll go here and we'll assign wool. Now, this won't show up until you have the sheep farm, and I think you might also have to have at least a little bit of pasture before this option will even show up. Now, the next thing we want is we want the cloth, but we have to have a weaver house or hut, whatever they call it, shop. And then after that, we're going to want to have the clothing. But we'll have to have a tailor shop for that. And as you can see, we've used up all of our spots, and we've only got one thing allocated. So we need to go ahead and without hesitation put in another, even though it's darkened out like as if it's not permitted, storage spot. Now the rules are the same as before. You don't want to turn these red by overlapping them, so you got to come out, go to the bird's eye view. And what else am I going to put near here? I might put another one of these out here so we can make polished rock a little bit. So I'll offset it a bit. That looks like plenty of clearance. Boom. We'll say apply changes. They'll wait for the builders to come out here and do it. And we've already got how many sheep there? We've got 5, it looks like. Now, how many sheep you get might depend on how big the field is. But we're going to go just, one builder, or excuse me, one, well, we would call them ranchers instead of farmers. But I think in this game they call them farmers. Well, they call them shepherds. That's pretty cool. That makes sense. And he's on free time right now. She's taking a big break. Okay, good enough. All right, now we need a transporter. Do we have any unemployed? Oh, we got a problem. No unemployed. So we can't fix that unless we take somebody off of another job to put them in there. How are we doing on wood? They're kind of running neck and neck. Well, they got some advice they want to give us. Preparing a military company. While your combatants are most grateful for the keep, they believe they lack the preparation for actual warfare. They should appreciate it if you would provide them with decent weapons and let them help village folk. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Get ourselves another one. Let's see, building a monastery, preparing the military company. Assign spear to the armory. Okay, we can go ahead and do that. The building is done. So the first slot will be spears, the only choice we're given. But we need a transporter. And I'm trying to make up my mind. Am I going to take somebody off of a job? Or am I going to wait? Of course, that means we'll probably need more housing. Oh, we already need more housing. We got some people that are homeless. All right, so let's see. I'm going to have to come in here. And provide some more housing back in here somewhere. So we go here. And we did a circle the last time, so we'll do a square this time. And, ooh, that square is too big. No, that looks like the same size. All right, so we'll mash down our wheel on a mouse Just square this up a little bit better. Slight overlap. Boom. Now let's get that. Yep, supplies went right in there, so we're good to go. We are good to go. Oh, I haven't built the barracks yet. Oh, grab these 2 people right quick. All right, we need to give the troops somewhere to hang out. One of them I need to assign here, so they'll go get the spears wherever the heck they may be. And here comes a trader. So let's click here, and like all the other buildings that have unique buildings, but we got to make sure we say barracks. There we go. Otherwise, there's no telling what we're going to be building. Now I'll just go ahead and use this one since everything's wood right now. That looks pretty centered up. And then we'll say build, because it's going to use the same doorway that we've already got established. And it's going to accept the building that we've already got put up as the castle fort for its light fortification requirement. Boom. We are good to go. All right, let's see. Are we starting to show any sheep? Oh yeah, look at that. He's got, oh, that's where the extra ones went. That would be from a weaver shop. But what about wool? I don't see any wool. Did we make a spot for wool? Yeah, we did. And it says he's got 6, but those are probably still at the, what they call the farmhouse. No? Looks like they've already been moved. Ah, there it is. Oh, and you just brought some more. All right, so now would be a good time to put in the weaver shop. Oh, we put in a barracks, and now we're called the hold. Okay, so now we need the weaver shop. Let's see, and we satisfied another series of quests. And let's see, I don't think that's going to be in the way of anything for a while. We will move it eventually, but... And that's probably be about as close as I dare put it to anything that's near it. Yeah, that looks good. We've got the 50 gold, so we're cooking pretty good right now. We're not going into the red too much. And once that gets built, we'll be able to assign somebody there as a weaver. Well, we do have one person, but I'm going to need more people. So I better keep an eye out. Whoops, rotate the other way. And grab some more, because I've only got one person holding back, looking for employment. Ah, more advice. Buying resources. You ran out of tools. These precious goods are necessary. Oh, really? We did? Well, I'll be darned. Look at that. We sure did. And they probably need tools to start on this one right here, don't they? Yep, see there? They've only got 4 to work with, and they need 6. So that advice is very timely. Let's go up in here. Let's look at this one. Didn't we say we wanted to buy tools? Find the tools right quick. There we are. Oh, I'll be darned, we didn't. So we'll do our usual. But for now, we'll just go buy with 6. We'll say we'll buy them. Come sell some tools. And we do have one merchant that will sell us tools. Ooh, they're kind of expensive too. But he is buying these from us now, and he is buying these from us. But right now, we can't really offer anything else. Well, that would be a lost cause there. Even if I never did put out a food stall to sell this meat to my general population. Well, we're working on this. It's kind of a slow process, but we're working on it. And I think I'd have to buy more territory to work on the wheat, wouldn't I? Or could I get that started? Oh yeah, I got more property to work with. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get a wheat farm started. And that would be under the drumstick right here. No, that's a lost cause. Butchery, there it is, wheat farm. And I'll put it over in this area. As long as I don't get too close to housing, it won't have an effect. I'll tell you what, we'll put it right behind the church. And then we'll turn it towards the road. Actually, we're turning it towards the back of the church, aren't we? So I better move it over a bit. Like so. and square it up a little bit more to the church, and then kind of compromise between the square of the church and the road. Go ahead and pay our 25. Now let's get back out here and see if we got any more volunteers looking for employment. No, not yet. So let's go down and then let's rotate. Oh, another trader's coming. It's the same guy. You know, I'm starting to think he comes in the middle of each week. Because it seems like it hasn't been that long since he came again. Okay, what advice did we follow? I'm not sure. But they liked it. We still got the monastery and preparing military company. All right, now they should be stabbing with... Oh, here comes some folks. We're going to use all of you guys, I think. But now we're going to have a housing shortage. All right, we got somebody assigned there, right? Yep, and they got the spears in there. So our 5 guys should have spears now. They're not out here beating on the dummy anymore, so we better go ahead and start introducing this. And we want to look at their training. Yeah, their training's 100%, it's all green. They've got a might of 45, they could have a 60. They're all nice and healthy, and they got their spears. And they have not been on their first mission yet. So, well, let me back up here. You see right here where it says what kind of duty they're on? You've got choices. If your guys are weak and they need more training or they've been hurt, you might put them on patrol duty, so they'll go around the village. Or you can put them on guard duty so they go around the fort, keep an eye on things. But they will also go around the village a little bit. So let's put back on mission duty since their training's 100%. And then let's go back up here to mission list. The only one they qualify, these are still locked, would be this first one. They only need 18. But they've got 45 and they could get up to 60. So what you do is you make sure you got this boxed in. It's automatic right now. And then you just click anywhere in here. That assigns them to the strategic patrol, might of 18 plus. They'll come back with some gold and they'll come back with some more influence, which is this coin right up here, Kingdom Influence. And we need a lot of that, so let's deploy the company. Left click here, boom. There we go. We got our first company out and about. And we've got some more volunteers. We've got 4 on standby. We'll go ahead and grab them, but we need to get busy on providing spacing for home. So we'll have to go here like we did before. See, we'll use the circle this time. Click here for residential, go bird's eye, and we can see our borders right there. And we could overlap very slightly. And they should, yep, they went right to work. Now, I think I need another one, don't I? Let's see, what is the damage on housing? Yeah, it's a -5, so I need another one. Oh dear. I can't really see that border from up here. I just barely see it. I think I'm square to it, but I can't tell for sure. I'm going to put it right there and hope for the best. Oh, that's not going to work. We need to move it out this way a little bit more. Oh, they took it. They went in, they took it. Great. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and designate another one, but this time we'll use the circle. Now that borderline is right in there somewhere. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. It slants. So I need to move over to about there, I think. Well, we'll come back. Oh, they took it. They took it. Okay, so we've got housing projects going. So we should be good. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. The farm for wheat. So we need to assign somebody in here right quick. And then we need to go ahead and do our wheat field. Use a bird's eye view. I'm going to go back to the square. And we'll compromise a little bit on the alignment. That looks fairly square. We need to make this bigger. And we're going to have a pile of rocks right in the middle of everything. And I don't think I should get too close. because I may want to expand that a little bit. So let's see. Can we make this bigger? Yeah, we can. All right, that'll be the beginnings of our wheat field. Now, once our occupant there, which is a farmer, decides that it's time to start planting, we will see that the trees do not disappear, but the field will start getting planted, and there'll even be wheat plants under and around the trees in this rock pile. Now, once they've made some progress, all right, let's go ahead and assign somebody here to start weaving. And now that means we need to start making, well, we'll have to, I think we should wait. I put a place for a cloth in here, right? Yeah. And I've even got a place for clothing. Wow. All the wool that was in here disappeared already? Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer. We had 10 cloth left over from the initial load to get the game started. And we still, we still got just the 5 sheep. So I'm probably right about how many sheep you get to work with depends on 2 things. How many workers you got and how big your pasture is. So let's go ahead and work on the pasture size a little bit. Oops, go this way with it. Now let's try to get it squared up. Yeah, that looks pretty square actually. And I don't want them cutting through the pasture, so I'm going to stay off the road a little bit. And let's see if by chance that will give us more sheep. Eventually we'll have to make that pasture quite a bit bigger. Now she's already got some out here, some bolts of cloth they would call that. So we should go ahead and entertain the idea of putting the tailor shop in here. That's going to be under this one here, goods production, right there. And it looks like the front door is already in position. So we just got to make sure that we get these 2 borders or footprints as parallel as possible. And we should be fine. In fact, it looks like I can move it a little bit closer like that. And we've got the gold. Ooh, man, we're getting short on gold, aren't we? Hey, there's our troops doing their thing, walking around all over the place. So they touched bases here. Is there? No, that's all gone. Now, I probably should go ahead and show you this right now. You can move it. You can't destroy it. They won't let you do that. But you can move it. And then we click right here in the center of it. See there? Now, you kind of have to ignore the fact that they've got red lines there. Or I should say red triangles. But that's another way you can make your circle bigger. Because we're going to want it bigger anyway. Because there's a pretty good chance this is the area we're going to purchase next. All right, we're just waiting on the builders to get over there. Now, don't mess with this building. Don't try to move it or anything until it's actually constructed. Because if you do, you'll have to destroy it if the game will let you. Because they just won't get back to it and do some building. Like you would expect them to do automatically. They just don't do it. So you gotta leave it alone. It screws up the game. Oh, let's see. That is a permanent rock pile. Because that's the rules that we decided at the beginning of the game. It will, otherwise, if you come over here and you go back to resource production and you click here on stonecutter, it would give you a number. Right now, the only thing it'll give you is a symbol that there's rocks there. It won't give you a number because it'll never disappear. At some point, we might decide to use the option to make it disappear. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just stick this in the middle of the wheat field. Make sure we're not too close. And we'll rotate it just a little bit. Get those parallel lines there in that gap. And we'll pay for it. Now, once that's constructed, we put somebody in there to get busy. Okay, I think I told you all I need to say about the tax office, right? Maybe I should mention one more thing. I've already showed you this. Now, they've got one coin that has not been picked up yet. Now, there's a chance that house might be out of range of this tax collector. Well, they've got one coin here, and they're real close. Let's rotate this. Well, it looks like the tax collector is working okay by himself. Now the other thing we can do is we can make another one of these as a tax collector, and we can put him back here somewhere to collect coins a little bit faster. But he's got a whole month to go around and collect these coins. And we could also put a tax collector over here. I don't think it messes up the housing. But remember, you have to start here. You got to use a little, and you got to make sure it says tax collector. You got to click on this first before you pick the structure. Now this is the one they recommended we use. But we could use this one, which is a little bit bigger. Not much. You can look at the stone, the planks, and the tools it needs. You can tell that's a little bit bigger by how much materials are needed to construct it. Let's see. Nah, I'm gonna just let that go for now. I don't think I need another tax office just yet. Okay, we got a volunteer. Now, what's that going to do to our housing? We now have 38 not citizen serfs to provide housing for. Let's see, what does it say here? Yeah, we have a housing shortage, so I better go ahead and designate another spot. So we want this one. And yeah, we got a square. Oh dear. We're going to have to put it inside the area where they harvest. Or I should say slightly. Of course, I could modify that. Okay, am I at the border right there? Yeah, I think I see it. So, and I need to adjust it that way, it looks like. Oh, we're going to put some berry bushes right in our yard, aren't we? Oh, they went on this side of the lot. Well, anyway, while we're thinking about it, let's find our hut. There it is, Forster's hut. Let's modify. Let's take away this little bit that overhangs. Right click. And now we need to go over here and say, don't cut the trees over here. Kind of leave this guy alone. There we go. We got everybody squeezed in there. Oh dear, they got two houses they're building there. Oh dear, we're going to have to focus on more property, aren't we? Oh, let's see. The only thing I probably should do now, since we've got people unemployed, is give them a job. So let's click on this. Let's click down here. And let's get ourselves... We don't need another barracks yet. We don't need another armory, so it's going to have to be a free build. And we'll use the same building like we did a while ago, and we'll just stick it right there. So when we can, we'll turn that into the headquarters for another company. Right now, the first company is attached to this tower, or you want to call it a fort or a castle keep. But we gave them living quarters, and there's only 5 of them, so we've got enough living quarters for 5 more. But we haven't bought the option yet to make another company. So do we have, no we don't. We don't have anything there yet. Because that's what we need when we go into progression. We've got to have coins. And we just don't have many coins. So gang, I'm going to have to back off. And well, I'm going to start making clothing. I'll put one person in here. And we haven't done the bakery or anything, right? We do need the bread, so I guess that's our next priority. Where are we going to put the bakery? I guess we'd have to put it either here or here. I don't think I got enough space to squeeze one in there. But how about right behind? Well, I got to do the mill first. So it'll be the drumstick and the mill. Can I squeeze it right in there without overlapping the road? If I move it down to here, I can. Looks like I've got enough space. to be able to stick it in there without making any choke points. Oops, I'm almost touching that one behind that fence line. Okay, so well, I'll have to move it forward towards the road a little bit more, I think. All right, we've got the coin, so that'll get us flour. Now, they can only store 50 in there since the game still hasn't asked us to install a granary. Are we supposed to just figure that out on our own or what here? Well, I need a bakery, so we might as well see if we can get one in, because we got to have bread if we're going to open up another trade route. Kind of hate to put it there. It really won't fit anywhere else, though, I don't think. Well, actually, I could put it out here, couldn't I? All right, that looks pretty safe, so we'll put that, but we don't have the 50, so I'll just click here. It'll preserve the placement of the building, but until we have 50 gold, we can't do anything with it. Now, we do have another option, since we have a Lord Mayor's. Oops, we got something. Let's do that first. All right, what are they going to do? They're going to, wealthy, learn to your villager struggles, and with tools and coins, they graciously offer to lend. Uh-oh. They're going to expect repayment. They might be asking for repayment at a very bad time. So I'm going to have to turn them down. Because, see, I do have this other option. Mandatory, or I should say a mandate. This is the only building that offers it. Even though I could put up a tower that would be at a slight distance from this structure that would provide the same option. All right, so let's see. We're first of all, yeah, because we're going to take a hit of 30. We can handle that. We won't go below 35 that way. Yeah, I think or actually we won't go below 30. That's what even though the game says 25 is safe, I think 30 is better. And we'll go ahead and get it. Now we'll put it on pause so the coins don't disappear on us. We're running a plus right now, so that's really not much of a concern. But I have done this before, and when I looked over here, it was still in the red. It's like I was paying off debt or something, and I couldn't use the coins for anything else except the debt. Okay, we'll right-click. Now we can go back here, left-click, and boom. All right, now I need to assign somebody in here to start turning wheat. Let's see, how much wheat do we have? Oh, man, we don't have hardly any wheat at all, do we? Well, anyway, I'm going to assign somebody here. Take it off a pause. And eventually they'll show up and they'll take this 19. Can they do anything with 19? It doesn't really say how much they grind into one wheat. Well, they're grinding now. They've got the 15. So how much flour can they make with 15? See, they just used, 4? And they got 1? Yeah, it looks like it takes 4 wheat to make 1 flour. Is that a barrel, a bucket, a sack? What is that? It's probably a sack. So, now they're stuck. They don't have enough wheat. But we do have some... Oh, we don't have a granary yet. Well, darn. But we could go ahead and enlarge this wheat field a little bit. I'll mash down the wheel on the mouse to kind of line things up. That looks about as lined up as I'm going to get it. Well, we could extend it slightly more. Will it? No. Okay, that worked. That worked. And we could extend it back here a little bit more, too. Oh, wait a minute. It says it's too large. They need more help. I'm going to go ahead and do this anyway. Okay, then we'll cancel that. I'll just left click. And I'll go ahead and give them another. I got one. Yeah, I got 3 So we'll give you one more to help you out there. And I probably should go ahead and put somebody here too. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 there. Yeah, our stone is down a little bit, but not by much. This gives us 50 storage here. Then we got 50 storage up here. And we've got in the warehouse 100, which they've already filled. I really need another one of these guys, because we're just not keeping up with polished stone. The demand is high enough. Yeah, let's do that. So we need to go here. We need to find, no, it's iron. There it is, stone mason hut. And then we'll go move out here. Rotate, we'll get bird's eye view first. And, or do we want to go across the road with it? Can't put it there, it's too close. But we can put it here. I need to rotate it just a little bit more. I got a little bit of a choke point there, but I think if I move just a little bit more, we'll be fine. So now we'll be able to get a little more production out of here. Once this one gets up, he'll have a partner in tools. Are we out of tools again? Oh, well, I'll be darned, we are. But we've got the cloth, we've got the wood, we just don't have the tools. So we'll have to wait until somebody sells us some tools. And we have a trade partner that should be willing to sell us some tools. Now, can I redesignate this? See, I have to go here first. And can I do anything else in here? Armory, barracks. No, they won't let me make it another troops. Okay, well, while we're thinking about it, let's go up here and see how our troops are doing. Oh, they're still in mission. So we're kind of in a limbo state, aren't we? Because they can't finish that until they get some more tools also. And that means we've got to have enough gold. We've got a slight surplus going here. But that's going to take, geez, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 months to mount anything. Because that's the monthly rate, if I remember right, not the weekly rate. Every month we get 4 more. And then they're going to be spending whatever we have left to buy tools. Well, darn. We are kind of stuck. We're not making tools yet. Oh, here comes the troops. Doing their roam around to earn their keep and whatnot. And they're still a mission. They touch base with the original stockpile. Oh, did they? No, they didn't go in. No, they're hanging out now. Maybe their mission's over. Let's see. No, they're still a mission. They're just taking a break. They're hanging. I wonder why they're hanging out there instead of the barracks, which would be here. They're not sleepy. They just need to take a break. Okay, good enough. So we'll put this on pause. And, well, actually, this is starting to get kind of long. So we'll say be well until next time. And then we'll post this up to YouTube.